Morning. Because you've not seen us before.
So it's funny actually that you said that you've been leatherworking, well, 10 years since you sold the first piece, because I actually started woodworking in 2015, which is also 10 years ago. Which
Nice.
is, I just thought I'd add that in.
So we've got 2 anniversaries. That's like a 20th anniversary, then, isn't it?
So I'm not giving away all my tools. So this is basically it's a stool. And this stool is ready for a leather seat. It's a pretty simple construction made with 16 mortise and tenon joints.
How many?
16.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So what I've done is, as you can see, there's some curved sections here to make the seat a comfortable shape to sit on. But you'll notice that this dimension is the same as this dimension, which is also the same as this dimension. And what I've done is made it so every joint was absolutely identical, which means rather than messing around with a really complicated design, all you need to do is cut, I'm not going to say the number again, that many joints, all 100% identical. There's no confusion. Every end of every piece has the same thing cut onto it. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you an easy way to create mortise and tenon joints into softwood specifically, because what's great about softwood is it's great to practice on, but also it's compressible, which it'll make sense in a minute. So, first of all, we've got 2 pieces. This piece represents one of the stretchers, and this piece represents a leg. And you want to put these together like this, but how can you put this together and make it strong? The idea is make a woodworking joint, which is, in layman's terms, it's creating a shape that fits to a corresponding slot or shape that you can glue them together and, have something so strong that just glue alone holds it together.
I didn't know that was going to work.
Neither did
I've got plenty of faith in what you've done, Jacob.
So, what I've got here, like I said, is 2 pieces of wood. And we're going to make a joint. This is 20 mil and this is 30 mil. And we're going to want to put this in the center. So, obviously, first things first, we need to start marking out where this joint goes. So this marking gauge, I'm going to move it around just to make it easy to show how to set this up. So, I want to put a mortise, which is a hole, in the center of this leg. So this mortise, this marking gauge will mark a groove in the center. So as you can see, I'm trying to avoid measuring as much as possible. Remove numbers from the equation if you can. So all I'm doing is making a little mark, turning it around, and seeing if that little mark meets up. And just by coincidence, I've managed to get it right in the center straight away. But if it's not in the center, give it a little tap.
Sorry, wait, did we miss that? Just by coincidence, he got it in the center.
Now, carry on. So what we're going to do is strike a line where we want this mortise. What I'm showing you here is the most simplified, bare bones way of doing this. Obviously, if you're going for absolute pristine, ridiculously high quality furniture, you're going to want to measure every single piece. But what I'm doing is basically showing you a simple way to get into doing this quickly, because you don't want to spend weeks and weeks doing practice joints. So let's assume we've measured our leg and we want the piece to sit here. We're going to mark top and bottom, and we've got that. So now we've got those marks, we're going to square this all the way around. Snap my pencil. That's,
I have a pencil.
there we go, I got it.
Oh.
So
Never mind.
The best way to square around is put your pencil on the mark, slide your square to it. Square that round.
How many people here do woodwork? Raise your hands. Perfect. How many people here do that when they're squaring off? Do they put the pencil on first and then butt up to it to make sure it's square? Or how many people, it's the same thing with leather, how many people go, yep, that's about it?
The thing is, pencils have a thickness, and once you start wearing down that sharp point, you'll find that your pencil mark's away from your square. I mean, it doesn't wander away too far on a piece like this, but if you're marking a 6-inch post, by the time you get to the other side, your pencil line doesn't mark up around, and that can really throw your joinery off. So what you can see is I've marked round square. I'm also going to mark around a second time. Oh.
It's not that long. It's just
Okay,
playing.
so now that groove we made with the marking gauge earlier, we can add a little bit of pencil in there, and that makes it very obvious. That's all the marking out we need to do for the mortise with this method. Typically, when you do this by hand with a mortise chisel, you need to mark the entire square and your boundary, which takes a lot of accurate marking out. This way I'm showing you today, that's literally all you need. One single line down the center. Now, time to cut the tenon. This, with certain woods, it can be quite tricky to do a method. I was going to show you a certain method, but I don't want to put that method out and see everyone destroy pieces of wood, because if the grain is wonky, if the grain is wiggly, it's not going to work. So I'm going to go back to how it's traditionally done, just because I think that's better for this demonstration. So what we're going to do is we're going to work out how deep we want our mortise in there to go and our tenon to be. So I'm going to choose 15 mil because that goes halfway through. Because on this stool in particular, we have a joint coming in one side and the other side. So if this tenon went 2/3 of the way through, when we put the other one in, they're going to collide. Going halfway or just below halfway means that both tenons have room. If you go exactly halfway, you have to mitre them inside, and it's very awkward. So we'll go just under halfway. So we're going to set this square to... My square's around the wrong way, so I've got to use a ruler.
Don't you just hate it when your square's on the wrong way?
Basically, the ruler can come out and turn around. And
and mine does it all the time. It just, I'll go to my toolbox and just be on backwards.
Okay.
It's never happened to me. I don't even...
The thing is, I take the ruler out too much.
Yeah.
So, we've got that just below halfway. And what we're going to do is we're just going to mark that point down there. Just like so. Then we go back to squaring around, just like before.
Do you remember how we did this bit?
So we go...
Good, because I wasn't paying attention. I was changing a blade in a strap cutter.
There. Pencil to the mark. There. Pencil to the mark. And finally, pencil on the mark. Okay, so now we've got a shoulder cut. Now, obviously, there's no tenon marked yet.
Why not?
Because I haven't done it yet, have I?
Oh. That's fine.
So we've got to mark 6 millimeters in the middle. A number's not crucial. You just got to make sure you have a drill bit that matches. And in this case, I've got a 6 mil drill bit, so I'm going to mark a 6 mil tenon. Again, it's like we marked the center of that. We're going to want to mark the center of this just to make it easier. So this is 20 mil thick, so I've marked 10 mil. And now is the accurate part. So I want to put, I like to start at 100 mil on the ruler, just because there's ruler both sides. If I put it right at the end, it's moving all over the place. So if I start at 100 mil, I can just count back and count forwards. So we want to go 3 mil one way, 3 mil the other, which will give us a 6 mil tenon in the center.
Does anybody else start in the middle of a straight edge, middle of a rule, or does everybody else start at the tip? Just me that starts at the end. Okay.
It's the same with a tape measure. If you want to mark 15 mil on a tape measure, it's almost impossible because you've got a little bit of metal at the end. The metal moves, which is fine, but there's a piece of metal, like a bracket, that holds that on, and it covers all the measurements.
Yes.
Makes it very difficult. So now, what we're going to do is a thing called finger gauging, which is a very good skill to know. What I mean is you put your finger at the side of the bit of wood and mark the pencil up on the point. And holding your finger against the side of the wood, you drag it down.
That's scary.
And what you do...
Does anybody else use this method? Is this a very... Oh, so there's lots of woodworkers going, yeah, we do. And I'm there going, I'd never do that. The reason I wouldn't do it is because leather's not thick enough to be able to run your finger down the side of.
And what you end up with is perfectly accurate enough for what we're doing right now, is you get your 6mm tenon marked all around the outside.
That's pretty cool.
So now is the scary part where we actually have to make some cuts. We put the pencil down now. No need for that at the moment. And you're going to need a vise for this. And I don't mean...
Like drinking or cigarettes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You don't need...
That's a good joke. That was a good... Thank you.
You don't need... you don't want an engineer's vise. You want a vise that the wood can actually go down into. A traditional woodworking vise usually has bars at the bottom, but you can kind of slip it down. If you get a desktop engineering vise, you're not really going to be able to do this very well. Because what you want to do...
I never thought of that. That's why they're so big, isn't it? So you can get the wood all the way. That's clever,
So
isn't it?
what I've got is I made this vise. It's a Moxon vise. And what it is you can actually pass things... You want to show down there?
Yeah, on camera.
You can actually pass things right through it. There is nothing in there. Because the screws are so far apart.
You see that on there?
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this in the middle.
Has anybody else made their own vise before? A couple of you?
Made wooden threads.
Has anybody else made wooden threads before?
Do you know what? Let's get this out.
Okay, come on. That's going to swing at me now.
So that is a wooden thread.
Has anybody ever turned a wooden screw before?
It's pretty easy. There's
you
know a tap and die set for metal? You can buy them for wood.
Oh, yeah, we use them all the time in leather.
So what I'm doing...
I dye leather quite a lot.
Here.
It's different though, isn't it? It's different sort of dye. Okay,
that's in the vise. So what we're going to do now is we are going to cut down here. And it's important that you do the rip cut first, because if you do the cross cut first, what's going to happen is you're going to saw down, and as you get near that end, it's going to pop off. And there's some chiseling to do. And this method involves no chiseling whatsoever if you can get it accurate enough.
So what's a rip cut?
A rip cut is along the grain, and a cross cut is across the grain.
That sounds dangerous.
So what we're going to do is put the saw on our mark like this.
And you're using your thumb as a guide there as well, aren't you?
Yep, guiding it on with my thumb.
Does anybody else put their thumb near saw blades? Oh, it's a woodworker thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we usually lose our thumbs after about 10 years from that.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. So what we're going to do is cut down to our line on both sides.
So what sort of saw is this that you're using?
This
it's not the saw that I've got from
This is a Japanese saw.
A Japanese saw?
Yeah.
Is this one of the pull ones?
It's a pull saw, yeah. What it does is it cuts a very fine cut, and it works under tension, so the blade doesn't actually want to wander.
Has anybody else got a Japanese pull saw? Oh, all of you? Okay. We've even got kids in the audience going, yeah, Alex, of course we've got one. Why do you not know what it is? Has anybody got any questions for Jacob while he's doing this bit here? Is it all making sense to people, apart from me? Yeah? I'm really interested to see what happens, because I know what he's done, because he's made the stool, but I was supposed to be paying attention. I am.
Okay, so now we've done the rip cuts, and now it's time to do the cross cuts. And that, again, is the same thing. You put your thumb on that line, and you just cut down till the piece wants to fall off.
So you're just meeting the already cut edge?
Yeah, they're just meeting at a 90-degree angle. And you might find that once you get down to the line, you realise that you haven't cut down low enough on the first cut. Rather than pulling it off and snapping it, just go back and give it a few more strokes.
So there's an old engineer's thing, which is you never finish a cut. So like exactly what Jacob's done, I do it in leatherwork quite often. So if you want to put a belt slot into a piece of leather, you could punch 2 holes and cut between them. But if you punch a hole, and cut all the way down, 11 times out of 10, you're going to overrun and go into the rest of your work. So you punch, cut halfway, and then cut halfway again to meet it, which is exactly the same as what Jacob's just done on this piece of wood. He's made his cut, and then he's cutting to meet it. But he's not, because it didn't go all the way, he's going back and he's just finishing those smaller, more precise cuts. How many times have we got a little bit too excited with what we're doing, and we've made, and we've gone, I'm just going to cut it all at once now. And then there's some words that come out which I can't repeat because there's kids about, and we tell the wood off, even though it's not the wood's fault, or we tell the tools off, even though we're the tool that made it not work. Because we've all done it, right? We've all got a little bit too ahead of ourselves, and we've all got that little bit of impatience in us, right? Yeah,
Okay, so what we've got to do now is create a second set of shoulders.
These bits.
So these two here are shoulders.
Yeah.
But when we put this...
So does that mean that's the head?
No.
Does that mean these are the knees and the toes?
Why not? I'll let you have that one.
Thanks.
So basically what these shoulders do are a bearing surface. So if this joint was in here, you'd be able to, pull it out. Having shoulders means that the pivot point of the joint, rather than being there on the tenon, it's now not the tenon, which means you have to pull it over a bigger arc to actually weaken the joint. Obviously, you can go too far with that and reduce the tenon so much that it just snaps off. So what we're going to do is create the shoulders identical to the sides. So if we measure those...
So this is exactly the same process, but so for something like this, for example, you'd have done this same process a number of times, which is already mentioned. Yeah, some of you got it.
So what we're going to do is we are going to create a tenon that is, say, 20 mil.
So you're doing exactly the same thing?
Exactly the same thing.
Nearly.
All the time.
It's fancy, isn't it? Am I just impressed with this because I don't do it, because I'm a leather worker? Yeah. This was not that impressive. Is that what you lot are saying? Oh, that was rude. No, they said it was fine. They said it was fine. Because to me, this level of precision, even though I do quite precise cuts in my leather work, this level of precision, I don't have the time, patience, skill set, or want to do. Matt's got it. So is it very much like this is a woodworker's thing where you... Wow, that's fancy. Yeah, I wouldn't... So how many woodworkers in here can make this joint? How many woodworkers here can make this? Show me your hands.
It's kind of a rite of passage. If you want to make furniture, you start with a mortise and tenon.
So how many people could do it that quick? A smaller number. Okay, so it is quite impressive. It's just your job, isn't it? You're not that impressed at all. Yeah, okay.
So now, obviously, this does not fit into here. I mean, you could probably try and force it, but I don't think you'll get anywhere. It's not an hole, mate.
You're not put the hole in it yet.
So we need to make a mortise, or the hole. So that's when we move over to this. This is a mortise machine that takes a mortise chisel, except at the moment it's just got a chuck in it, because most people don't have mortise machines at home. So this is just a drill press for this demonstration. What I've done is I've attached a surface, which I can then screw a piece of wood to act as a fence, which means the hole is lined up perfectly, in this case, to the center. What we're going to do now is mark the start and stop points of our mortise. Right, so we're going to go... So let's get some lead out. So we're going to go there and there. So there are our boundaries. We don't cut beyond that. If we cut beyond that, we're going to create too big of a slot. So, drill press on. And what we're going to do is, first off, we're going to get right to this end. And I've set a depth stop on this drill, so it will stop at the right depth. And then we're going to get the other end. And then we're going to go in between. And then we're going to take that last bit in between. And you may look at that and think, wow, you need to chisel that now. But that's the joy of the drill press. If this was a hand drill, you couldn't do this. But with a drill press, what I can do is I can go between these points.
Obviously, you'd be doing this with a guard on the drill press and safety glasses on, like we've got.
So what we've got here is now...
I've got a question.
I can push this
okay, I was just about to say, can you just move it backwards and forwards?
You can't do it unless you've cleared almost all the waste away, because you might snap your drill bit. But now... There we go.
It's fancy, isn't it? Has anybody got any questions on that bit so far? Has anybody other than Matt got a question? Yes, young gentleman with the white t-shirt on. What if you haven't got a drill press?
If you haven't got a drill press, what you'd have to do is you would have to drill several holes.
With what if you don't have a drill?
With a hand drill, just an ordinary combi drill or a bit and brace, anything you've got. So the holes touch each other, and what you end up with is, I'll draw it, is you end up...
You just want me moving this camera around
Yeah.
all day, don't you?
with that.
Can we see that? Yeah.
And then what you'd need to do is, with a chisel, you just
So
pare away.
that's the bit where you need to start chiseling away and just
those
trimming it
little
out.
bits.
And yeah.
Now, as an embarrassing thing that I've just realised right now, is that when I marked that up, I didn't mark it up at 6 mil. It's accidentally slightly big.
We saw you mark it up as you did a 10 in the 10, you did 3 on each side.
When I finger gauged it, it went a bit bigger.
Oh, so the finger gauge thing, which I said I wouldn't do because it seems a little... Okay, yeah, fine.
That's because I didn't start in the right place. But I don't have a chisel with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my plane blade as a chisel, which I've done in a bit of a pinch in the past, if I've had to.
Has anybody got a chisel on them?
They're in the car.
They're in the
Unless
car.
you want to run to the car.
I'm not... So just for those that aren't aware, Jacob had his drill press, or more, this thing, in his car up until about 7 minutes before we were due on stage, and his car was in his car park.
Right. Tell you what.
What do you need?
I'm just going to cut another one. Because it's so quick. I've shown you all how to do it, so I'm going to show you how quick.
Grab your screwdriver again.
Without
please.
explaining,
Thanks.
I will show you exactly how quick I can mark this out. Right.
Yeah, you carry on.
My ruler is there. Okay, so let's see how I can speed run this. So we've got
That's not coming off.
15 mil.
I'm going to show you the state of the screw on this. Can you see the... I know you could see it because your face just went...
To let you know, it is 100 years old.
Well, yeah, but that's a replaceable bit.
I know, but it's the original. Okay.
Oh, wow. So
So-
we all just hated the look of this front bit, right? And see this bit? See how it's all chewed up because it's 100 years old? Look at the state of the back of it. Who here's got really old tools? Is that in... Your hand went up very quickly. Is that good condition, bad condition? Is that all right? Fine. Sharp, that as well. It's quite sharp. So while Jacob's doing that, we'll leave him to have a go at that. We're going to do a little bit of strap cutting. Who here's ever worked with leather? Oh, a good handful of you. Who here's ever cut straps? A couple of you. Who here's ever used a strap cutter? Who here's entered my competition to win a 31-piece pro giveaway set? Okay, fair few of you. Handmadebalix.com, just go onto it, put it on. There's a load of stuff we can win. Who here has seen a wooden handled strap cutter before? Most things that people have got. Who's seen one of the new plastic handle ones? Yep, so these ones are really, really cool. I'll just pop the video up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/handmadebalix. So this one is the same as what we've currently got, but it only goes up to 2 inches, whereas this one goes up to 4. Where are we? Here. And you cannot adjust the mouth on it, so you're limited to sort of thick leathers. So if you are using a thinner piece, it will wobble off and things like that as well. Much easier to replace the blades. Oh, where am I gone? Much easier to replace the blades on this one. You just pop this bit out. You don't need to. So if you saw me at the beginning unscrewing this and faffing about with it and putting a new blade in it, this one you literally squeeze it together, pop it out, put a new one in. Really, really cool. I might give this away today. Can't be bothered taking it home with me. Probably will give it away today. We're not going to use this one just because I want to use this one. So this is a wooden hand strip belt cutter. So it has a wooden handle, this bit here, which has a retention bolt in the top, which holds in these 2 arms. These 2 arms are essentially the cutting edge, which is just in here at the 0. And then it's the measuring guide on here. So it's got inches and centimeters on. And essentially what we do is we move that to represent whatever the thickness, the width of the belt is, or the strap that we're cutting. So what can we cut with these things? Wristbands, key rings, my wallet pattern that I use quite a lot of. Some of you may have seen this one before. So a wallet of this sort of size. It's 4 inches. That cuts 4 inches. If you wanted to, you could cut this whole thing. It's only 2 pieces. You could strap cut it and then just cut one section off. You got your card wallet, cut the other section off, trim it to the angles that we've got on here. And then you've got the outside bit and just stitch it together. And you could do that just with a strap cutter. And then if you look at what I'm wearing, strap cutter, probably a strap cutter, and the belt, which, as I've been getting older, this belt is shrinking. I've had this same apron for like 10 years, and the holes on it are getting further and further away. I think it's the leather, isn't it? It's known for shrinking over time.
Unlike you.
Well, that was rude, wasn't it? So the other thing that we can do with leather, and what we can do with some strip and strap cutting, because I know that we're a little bit pressed for time, but we'll get this done and we'll have a look at this, is we can weave stuff. So I'm going to throw these out for people to have a look at, just while we're having a bit of a chat and finishing this off. So this is a little baskety thing that I ripped the strap cutter across. I can't remember how many pieces are in that. And I've literally just glued some ends on it just to showcase it. And that one I was working on, and then I got bored. Has anybody ever started a project, got bored, and then it looks like this? Yeah, that's more hands than I've seen all day. So I'll throw these out into the crowd. I don't want them back at the end, but have a look, have a play, have a feel, see what it looks like. Very simple sorts of. It's just a basic weave. It's an under and over. We're not looking at anything too fancy. And what we intend to do, but I think we're definitely going to run out of time, is what we're intending to do is the basic under-over, weft and warp, for those that know weaving, warp and weft.
Weave. Sorry, that wasn't me. I got mouthed the word from over there.
Oh, no, because the ones that go up and down is the warp, and the ones that go left and right are the weft, or the other way around. It's one way or the other, I can't remember. But that's what we're going to do with this. And the intention is we're going to, what we would do, we've got the top here, we've got some upholstery tacks, and we've got some strips of leather. And what you'd do is you'd tack them in on the inside. You could do it underneath if you wanted to. Pull it up, over, down, in, and up. If you're doing it underneath, that's fine, but you do it inside. Tack them all in one direction. Essentially, we've then built a loom, which is a wooden frame to help us weave, because that's what it is. It just means that we're leaving it on here. And then what we'd do is exactly the same, but we'd pin in all the other side and then weave it through. We're definitely not going to have time to do that today.
So while you were talking about that, I managed to recut this tenon.
And does it fit?
Moment of truth.
Wait.
So, you know how I said about softwood being compressible? And that's quite important for this, because if this was really dense hardwood, what you're going to want to do is square off this mortise. But if you're using softwood, you'll notice that that's square, this is round.
So you put in a square peg in a round hole?
And what happens is you get a tight fit.
Have you then got a tension press fit?
It's friction fit. And what it's done is it's
round it
just
off.
knocked off. It's just compressed the corners very slightly, and it fits.
Has anybody else ever done that? Oh, you all, okay. I'm really impressed that you just put a square peg in a round hole. And you lot are like,
Yeah.
easy.
So, now, that is a mortise and tenon joint. It's the quickest, simplest way of doing it. And that's how I made this. These pieces are simply the same, cut from a wider board on a bandsaw. Simple as that.
So if we're doing something like the top of the stool, we need to decide what width we want the straps to be. There's a whole theory behind what widths you want for how thick you want your seat top to be and things like that. You don't want them to be too thin because you have to do loads of them. You might lose a bit of tension to it. It could become too tight. You don't want it too loose. You don't want to have too bigger gaps in the middle, as we mentioned earlier. If you sit on it and it flexes, it can grab bits of clothing or anything else that's dangling loose that you don't want it to, might lose your keys in it or something like that, whatever it may be. Your headphones could get stuck in it. So there's a bit of theory behind it as well. So you still have to leave an allowance, material allowance, for the thickness of your leather. So even though we're going to tack it in and pull it reasonably tight, we're not pulling it as tight as we can. We're not trying to squeeze the wood together. We're trying to give ourselves a nice, comfortable seat. Any questions on that? Any questions on what you've seen Jacob do so far? No? Any questions on how horrendously we're about to make this stool? No? Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to decide how... Also, don't use your maker knife as a screwdriver. Do not recommend. Yeah, I've got my maker knife. Who here knows what a maker knife is? Who here's got one? So what we're going to do on this... Yeah, really. Thanks, Matt. So we're going to say we want these to be... You like the millimeters, don't you?
Yeah.
So if you want to, we're going to move this side and side.
Mm-hmm. Do you need the ruler, or has it got markings
It's got markings on it.
Of sorts, yeah.
Put your glasses on. So we're going to move it up to where we want it to. If we were to be making some quite nice bag handles, you can make bag handles with strap cutter, belts, watch straps, something that's going to be used against the body quite a lot, we'd probably cut ever so slightly wider and then bevel and burnish the edges and do quite an aggressive bevel to it to remove the sharpness, because leather, when you cut it, is sharp. We'll cut some off and we'll pass it around in a second. So what you're going to do is hold this, and you're going to slide this part up to where you want it. What do we say? We're going to do 20, 30, 35, whatever you want. And then once it's in position, we're going to tighten this retention bolt up underneath. I'm going to ignore that one for now. Who here has ever bought a side of a cow in leather? They've got some over there, yeah. So this is, who remembers what this is? Told you at the beginning. 3mm Brazilian veg tan. Really good way to store your veg tan is if you've got a strap cutter, cut a strap, put a hole in it, and you can just it's not going anywhere. Because you should store it. You should store leather flat, by the way. Most people don't have facilities to do that, so you roll it up. Depends on the leather, you'd roll it inside out or outside in. So this is a big old bit, and Jacob's just going to grab this for us.
I have absolutely no idea how that thing works.
How what? The tool?
How it works, yeah.
So just hold that for me and just lift it up, like above your head.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is heavy.
It's half a cow. Just turn and show the lovely people how much of a cow this is. Big old bit of leather. So that's about $350 worth of leather. Ivan Leathercraft have sent that out to us, so it's there. I'm not saying it again. Some people know what it is. There's a reason I'm not saying it again. 3mm Brazilian. And this is really good for making belts and things like that. So
Can I put it down now?
Yeah, you can put it down. We'll do it on the floor. So one of the things about cutting very large pieces of leather is, how do you do it, where do you do it? I haven't got enough room. Oh my God, I don't want to cut it. It's cost me £300. Look at it. It's got really weird shapes. Okay. So we'll get a real nice big bit of wood, which most of us have got, if not a real big straight edge. We're going to lay it down. We're going to go a foot at a time. We're not trying to cut through it with one. Let's try and do one really, really big cut and get through it. Do lots of little ones. Go back over it if we need to. Scooby-Doo's here for some reason. And then what we're going to do, once we've got this nice straight edge, which hopefully you can see when we held it up, this piece of leather, it's got a weight to it, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to roll up most of it, because we don't actually need all of this right now. And we will do, as we're cutting. I shouldn't be making these noises when I lean over. Anybody else get to an age where they make noises when they lean over? Yeah, good. Thank you. So we're going to pretend like we don't have this massively long piece, even though we do. And we're going to use this fancy, fancy strap cutter. Have you just noticed the branding?
Yeah.
So we have something on this piece called range markings. So range marking could be a branding, could be... So can we see that there's like an IPA on this upside down? Yeah. So you might also get big scratches, big scars, stretch marks, because cows get branded. Cows get bitten by big ticks and go and scratch up on bushes and barbed wire fences. The expensive leathers, the really expensive leathers, don't have that. Those cows have a better life than me. And you, and you, and you, and you. Okay. So we're going to do this. This will only ever cut a parallel line to whatever it's touching. So if this part is touching a straight edge, this part of the blade here, will cut a straight edge. So we've got this set to 2 centimeters. Hopefully we can see that. What we're going to do is place it so the leather butts up against the handle. And we're going to pull it into the gap. And we're going to hold the top and we're going to pull it towards ourselves, making sure that handle is pressed into the leather's pressed into the handle.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh, that's really easy.
Okay.
How far do you want me to come down?
All the way. So
All
what
the
I'm going to
way.
do, I'm going to come around to the front of the stage for a moment, just because I'm going to move the leather out of the way. Normally you'd do this. I would always recommend having this top bit held. So stick it in a vise, get the cat to sit on it, whatever you've got to do, get it held. So I'm just going to roll this up. Hopefully you can still see on the close-up camera.
Oh.
I'm just going to pinch this for him here. Hold a bit of pressure. Do not pull quickly. Does anybody here know what happens if you pull really quickly? So for those that didn't see, you get this motion, it goes whew. So whenever we're cutting, we always try to make sure that we're not in the way of our cutting area, our hand or our elbow. So whenever we try to cut, we should always try to cut. If I'm cutting here, think of it like a V. Right? My elbows can only go so far before and if I'm cutting with a straight wrist, which I should be, it's going to stop here. So if I'm trying to pull a straight line, I can't, because naturally I'm going to veer off. I could turn to one side and pull. I can move the thing that I'm cutting and continue the cut there. Or I can just take a step to the side. You don't always have to move the material. Move yourself. How many times have you've been stood there because that's where you've been stood for an hour, and your feet are planted now, you feel like you're part of the ground, and you go, this is uncomfortable. Well, yeah, move. Like we've all done it. So just take that extra half a second to think, am I cutting this on the best way? Is it an angle? Does it need to be on an angle? Can I turn? Can I just move the piece of work? Leather work, if you're doing small things, you can just move it. How did we get around passing the braided pieces? Where'd they get up to? We got any of them? Anyone?
Check their pockets.
Got some woven pieces. Are they about? Can we see them? Can we see them? Did they make it to the back? Am I going to blip? You not seen this one? And you guys haven't seen this one. Have a look. That gives you that three-dimensional. It's not just a flat piece. I mean, it is three-dimensional because we're not cartoons. Just pull it. So you know, I said this is really easy. The difficult bit's the excess material, right?
Yeah. It would help if we had like a 3-meter table.
Yeah. So at home, I have a cutting table, which is essentially a workbench that I have out this way to work on, to do this exact same thing. So I'd be stood at the head or the foot of the table to cut.
There we go.
Was that
one down?
an easy tool to use?
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
So from this, how many strips could we do? How many strips, how many parts of the seat, how many What's a single woven strand called? One. Okay. We can get one from this, but how many ones do we think we can get? We can probably get a fair few. Where's that close-up camera? Ollie, how are we doing for time? Keep it going. So essentially, what we're going to be doing is tapping in on the inside here with the upholstery tacks I've got there, pulling round underneath, tapping again. So all of a sudden we're using, oh, how long's that?
About 500.
We're using about 500. 1, 2, 3. We get 4 from that, won't we? From one strip that he's just taken off, and we've done, 2 centimeters on this.
Yeah.
What's it in your words? 200.
20 mil.
20 mil. We did 20 mil. I work in inches sometimes, so we've got a fair bit of big old bit of cow. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pass some of this leather out.
So, would you ever do this strap cutting on the floor?
All the time. All my cuttings. Like I said, I've got a cutting table. I'll stand at the head of the table to do it.
Well, would you like me to cut some strips?
Yeah, crack on.
And I can keep passing them to you,
Yeah.
and you can do whatever you need to do.
Who has felt cut veg tan before, and who has not felt cut veg tan before? Okay, I'm going to pass this round. So I want you to feel how sharp it is, right? So this stuff is really soft, it's flexible. This is vegetable tanned leather, so it's a natural process. Takes a little bit longer than chrome tanned leather, and it's a little bit thicker as well. The benefit of this is you can dye it, you can stamp it, you can wet mold it around things. There you go. I'm going to cut a couple of these bits out and just throw them around the audience for you. So even though this is a reasonably fresh blade, I'm just taking a couple of cuts through it. I'm not trying to, because you're gonna come off. So I want you to feel across the edges of this, and just feel how sharp it is. I'll pass one here and we'll start it across there if you guys want to feel of that. One of the other tools that we tend to use as leatherworkers, and you get lots of different variants. You have something called a beveler. If you're making something that's going to be touching skin, bevel it and burnish it. So these are bevelers. Got two quite significantly different thicknesses here. They both do exactly the same thing. Leatherworking tip, trick, number, whatever. When you're beveling and burnishing your edges, turn it over first. Start from the bottom, because the majority of the strength of the leather is in the top bit, the smooth bit. So if we're going to be removing strength of material, we take the weakest bit first. So if I was to bevel this top edge and try to bevel the bottom, there's not going to be much strength there to do it. So we do the bottom bit first. Two different thicknesses. Really, really fine, not as fine. Let's see if I can show you this on here. Can we even see on this camera how fine of an edge that's taken off? See that little bit of dust here? That's it. So when you're doing really fine leatherwork, that's what you want to use. When you're doing big bits like this, that's the one you want to use. Okay, I'll just do this top bit for you as well. So that's rounded those edges off really, really nicely. And then what we're going to do is get some water. You can use different agents. You can use burnishing agents. You can use waxes. This stuff here, Toconol, really, really good, very expensive. I still think it's just hand cream. But, yeah, whatever. I'm going to use a little bit of water, and I'm going to cheat, because all I'm going to do is gently dab it. I'm just going to leave that on the side. and then we're going to... I really want to throw it on Jacob then. I'm just going to put this on this tablecloth here. Oh wait, there's a cup. There we go. I'm just going to have wet handprints down my trousers now. So we do that. The reason we do that is to soften the leather up, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get a burnisher. And burnishers come in, yeah, again, many shapes and sizes. I've had this one for about 10 years. How many people here are looking at this going, I could turn that from a bit of wood? Yeah, all of you. Everybody says that. I could, well, go on then, make one. And what a lot of people think that we do, I think that might be enough, is you don't roll it. You find a point and you rub it. And all we're trying to do is create some friction. We've got different thicknesses, different spacing for different thicknesses of leather. Find the one that fits best. I'm going to see if I can just do half of it. You've got enough. Got enough strips there, mate?
Yep.
So what we're going to do, backwards and forwards, not too much pressure. Who here's ever started a friction fire where you rub two sticks together? Yeah. It's not about the pressure, it's not about how hard you push. It's about the motion. So, hopefully, if we look at this down the flat edge, so we can see, can we see this is the one on the left? This one's got a more rounded profile to it. And then this one's significantly flatter.
I've got a question for you.
Yes.
If we was to mount something like this in here.
Yes, people do it all the time.
You could.
There's also companies that do attachments for bench grinders. But yeah, lots of people, I've not done it, but I've seen lots of people cut the end off, put an insert into it, throw an insert and just stick it into a drill press.
Okay.
Who's felt the sharp edges on that bit I threw out a second ago? Yes, my scissors do cut. Yeah. Have a feel of the darkened edge and you'll feel it's a little bit softer. There you go, have a go, feel it, pass it, touch it.
Do you want to show how to tack a couple of strips on? Do you think have we got enough time?
Who here's ever hammered a nail? It's that.
Cool, done.
These are, there's a staple in that. Wear gloves or something, I don't know. So this is an upholstery tack. So it's just a big tack. This is a smooth topped. And you can get different ones. These are from Ivan Leather. Do recommend them. Textured ones, things like that. I'm just going to hammer it into the wood, I guess. That's it. I can't really, we're just tapping it in. Do you want to tap one in? Oh, I brought the cutest hammer as well.
Should we just cut one strip?
Just tap it on.
I was thinking, if we have it upside down.
Go on, let's have a look. Come on then, we'll get this done. See Ollie there just tapping his watch at us. We've moved it all the way this way. Bring it into the middle a bit for us, Jacob. Ow, I've never used this hammer before.
How many people does it take to put a nail in?
One.
Ow.
You can do it, because I've stabbed myself twice now.
I would say this is not a big enough
It's
hammer.
not a big enough hammer.
For this nail. The head is smaller than the nail itself.
It's not any good. I thought, I've got this really cute hammer, I'll bring this. It's actually smaller than the head. I don't have any others with me either.
This is perfect.
There you go.
There we go. Just like that, I put a nail in.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then what we'll do is, would you do it tight?
Reasonably tight. So if you pull that as tight as you can, then we'll show people. I want to see if people can see the tension. Have people felt that bit of leather where it's been smoothed off and stuff as well? Beveled burnish. So if you're sitting on stuff, if you're wearing stuff, always bevel and burnish your edges. You can get real fancy. You can sand them. You can paint them up, dye them, all that stuff. But just as a concept, that's why we do it. I can hear how tight you're pulling that. Pretty good.
It's like a bass string, isn't it?
Yeah, so can you just turn this way, turn the stool this way a bit for us, please? So, you can't get the staff, can you? So see how we've still got a fair bit of flex in this? So if I wanted to put, 7 or 8 strands coming the other way, there's plenty of flex so that we've got that. And most of that's just the natural flex in the leather. What we could do, if we had more time, is bevel and burnish all of these edges. We could dye this leather if we wanted to. We did say we wanted to keep this as just vegetable tanned for a reason. It will patina over time. It'll take a nice shape and colour and all the rest of it. Am I going to stab myself again? That one hurt. You managed to get that right into the finger then. That was good. Do you want to cut that off first? Who wants to see my fancy scissors again?
Go on then.
We've run out of cable. We're doing laps of this table, aren't we? Anybody got a pair of these? Leather shears. Cut that bit off. I'll hold it, you cut it. I want to see your face when you use these scissors. Oh my God, do not cut my finger off. Who wants to know what I'd do at this point?
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't need to be holding that, did I? At all. We already knew where we were going. And also that ooh is really nice. If anyone wants to have a go with them, come across and see us when we're packing up in a minute. You can have a go. They're really good. You just cut through a certain thickness of certain leather with just the tip of the scissors.
Really hard when you're trying to pull the tension on. You can't really hold the nail. Right, there we go.
This is an exercise of trust.
There we go. So I'm thinking, after our demo, should we just go aside somewhere and finish this off?
We'll grab somewhere and we'll do it.
And if you want to have a look at this finished,
come back in about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
20 minutes?
Yeah, I would say so.
Knowing our time in about an hour and a half. But yeah, we'll just go down. We should go over there somewhere. Or maybe you'll find us because we'll have this half a cow out on the side. So, has anybody got any questions about what you've seen so far? Okay, so we've got one last thing to do. It's Ollie's birthday. No, it's not. It's not at all. So he gave you 2 facts at the very beginning of this demonstration. The question is, how many joints and what leather? What was that? You got it right? So it was...
How many joints did he say?
He said 16.
Oh, okay.
We've got a winner. Quickest hand up. So this kit is yours. So this is provided by Ivan Leathercraft. So if you go onto my website, handmadebyalex.com, enter the free giveaway to win the big one. They're also giving away Maker Central exclusive 20% off site-wide. I think the exclusions are not sale items, so normal full-priced items, 20% off your total order and free shipping over $150. You've got to use my link to get to it. So it is a Maker Central exclusive thing. Go to the website and do that. So I'll grab this, we'll get this to you in a minute. And then I've got this little strap cutter. Give me a woodworking question.
Okay.
That we've discussed, not
that we've discussed. What was the thickness of the tenon? Oh, the hand at the back was the quickest one. Yep, 6 mil.
Wait, what was the thickness supposed to be, or what was it?
I'll let you have that one. Ooh. Do we roll it up?
That was, I think... Any other questions? Any burning questions before we go?
Any other questions, guys? For Jacob and Alex? Who won? Was it you, sir, who won?
Yeah.
Give them a round of applause, guys. Well done.
Thanks for paying attention.
Well done. And a big round of applause for Jacob and Handmade by Alex. Well done. That was fantastic.
Thank you, everybody.